The last bell of the day had rung, and Primary 3 emptied in a happy rush of scraping chairs and slamming bags. Wei, however, was in no hurry at all. That afternoon, it was his turn to be classroom monitor, which meant staying behind to tidy the room, wipe the whiteboard clean, water Ms. Lim's row of little plants on the windowsill, and feed Speedy the tortoise before he went home. Miss Lim had pinned the list of jobs to the notice board herself.
I am trusting you to do all of it properly, Wei.
She had said warmly that morning.
Even the parts I will never see.
At the time, he had nodded eagerly, proud to be trusted. Now, as the door swung shut behind the last of his classmates, the classroom fell strangely quiet, and Wei found himself completely alone. Wei set to work cheerfully enough. He stacked the chairs in neat towers, gathered the stray pencils, and swept the scraps of paper into a tidy little pile. He wiped the whiteboard until it gleamed, then carried the watering can along the windowsill, giving each thirsty plant a careful drink. It was while he was reaching up to the tallest fern that he noticed something glinting on the floor, half hidden in the gap beneath the bookshelf. He bent down and picked it up. It was a 50-cent coin, no, 2 of them, and then a third, scattered where they must have rolled when someone's purse had spilled. Wei turned the coins over in his palm. $1.50, just lying there, belonging to nobody in particular. A funny little flutter started up in Wei's chest. $1.50 was not a fortune, but it was certainly enough for something. He could buy a packet of his favourite seaweed crackers from the school bookshop, with change left over for a sticker or 2. The thought was wonderfully tempting. He glanced around the empty classroom, even though he already knew there was nobody there. The door was shut. The corridor outside was silent. Ms. Lim had gone home long ago, and his classmates were halfway down the road by now. If he simply slipped the coins into his pocket and said nothing, who on earth would ever find out? Nobody had seen him pick them up. Nobody even knew the coins existed. For a long moment, Wei stood frozen by the bookshelf, the 3 coins growing warm in his closed fist. It would be so easy. A quiet voice in his head began to make the case, soft and clever as a salesman. "Go on," it whispered. "Nobody dropped them on purpose. Finders keepers, isn't that what everyone says? You worked hard tidying this whole room all by yourself. Surely you have earned a treat. Honestly, who could it possibly hurt? $1.50 is nothing to anybody." Yet even as the voice murmured on, another feeling stirred underneath it, a small stubborn tug that would not quite let him close his hand for good. It was not a voice exactly, it was more like a quiet weight, pressing gently on his conscience. Wei sat down slowly on the edge of a desk, the coins still in his hand, and made himself think it through properly. The clever voice was telling him that nobody would know, but that, he realized, was not quite true. There was one person who would always know, no matter how empty the room was, no matter how tightly he kept the secret. He would know. Every time he ate those crackers, every time he stuck on one of those stickers, a little corner of him would remember exactly where the money had come from. The treat would taste of something sour underneath. That, Wei thought, was the strange thing about doing wrong in secret. You could hide it from the whole world and still never quite hide it from yourself. His thoughts drifted, as they often did, to Ahma. He remembered a saying she repeated whenever she caught him about to cut a corner. "Character," she would tell him, tapping him gently on the chest, "is what you do when nobody is looking. Anybody can behave when the whole world is watching them. The real test of a person comes in the quiet moments, when there is nobody to praise you and nobody to scold you, only your own 2 eyes." At the time, those words had sounded like just another of Ahma's wise old sayings. Yet, sitting here now, alone in the silent classroom with $1.50 burning in his fist, Wei understood all at once exactly what she had meant. even though the clever little voice had not entirely given up, Wei had made up his mind. He uncurled his fingers and looked down at the 3 small coins resting in his palm. They did not belong to him, and no amount of clever arguing could change that simple fact. If he kept them just because no one would know, then he would be the sort of boy who only behaved when he might be caught. And that, he decided firmly, was not the sort of boy he wanted to be. He stood up, brushed himself down, and walked over to Miss Lim's desk. From the drawer, he took out the little lost property tin, the one she used for stray hair clips and forgotten rubbers, and gently dropped the coins inside with 3 small, satisfying clinks. Then Wei did something he might easily have skipped. Beside the tin, he found a small notepad, and on it he wrote a careful little message.
Found 3 coins, 50c each, under the bookshelf. Put them in the lost property tin. Wei.
That way, if the owner came looking, or if Miss Lim wondered where the money had come from, there would be no mystery at all, and no suspicion falling on anyone. He could have simply tipped the coins in and said nothing, but somehow doing the job properly felt far better than doing it halfway. As he set the pencil down, the clever little voice in his head finally fell silent altogether, as though it had quietly admitted at long last that he had been right all along. With the coins safely dealt with, Wei finished the last of his jobs. He shook a pinch of food into Speedy's tank and watched the old tortoise plod over, stretch out his wrinkled neck, and begin to munch contentedly.
There you are, Speedy.
Wei murmured.
All done, and done properly.
He looked slowly around the spotless classroom, the gleaming whiteboard, the neat towers of chairs, the freshly watered plants standing to attention along the windowsill. Nobody had stood over him to make sure he did each task well. Nobody had checked a single corner. Yet he had done every part of it as carefully as if Miss Lim herself had been watching the whole time. That, he was beginning to understand, was what it truly meant to be trusted. Wei swung his bag onto his shoulder, switched off the lights, and pulled the classroom door shut behind him with a soft click. As he walked down the empty corridor and out into the warm afternoon sun, he noticed something he had not expected. He felt lighter than he would have felt with a packet of crackers tucked in his bag, and a great deal lighter than he would have felt with a secret weighing on his mind. It was a strange, clean sort of happiness, calm and quiet, with nothing sour hiding underneath it. He had not won a prize. Nobody had clapped or even noticed. Yet, deep inside, a small, steady pride glowed warmly, all the more precious because it was his alone. The next morning, before lessons began, there was a small commotion near the front of the class. A girl named Priya was searching her bag in a fluster, her face crumpling with worry.
My purse spilled yesterday,
She said, almost in tears.
and I think I lost some of my bus money under a shelf. My mother will be so cross.
Mrs. Lim looked up from her desk.
Was it 3 50-cent coins by any chance?
She asked, and reached for the little lost property tin. Priya's eyes went round as saucers. There, with Wei's neat note tucked beside them, lay her 3 missing coins, exactly where an honest pair of hands had left them the afternoon before. Priya scooped up her coins, hugging them to her chest in relief.
Thank you, thank you.
She gasped, looking around the room.
Who found them? Who put them here?
For a moment, Wei said nothing. He had not done it for thanks, and a part of him was perfectly happy to let it stay a secret known only to himself. Yet Ms. Lim had spotted the name on the note. She did not announce it loudly or make a great fuss. Instead, she simply caught Wei's eye across the busy classroom and gave him the smallest, warmest nod. A private little signal that said, without a single word, "I saw what you did, and I am proud of you." Wei felt his cheeks grow warm, and he nodded back. That afternoon, walking home through the void deck, Wei found himself thinking it all over. The whole thing had cost him $1.50 and a packet of crackers he would never now taste. By the clever little voice's reckoning, he had lost out. Yet he did not feel as though he had lost a single thing. He had kept something far more valuable than any treat from the bookshop. He had kept faith with himself. He had proved, in a quiet, empty classroom where it would have been the easiest thing in the world to do otherwise, that he was honest all the way through. Not just on the outside where others could see, but right down to the very middle, where only he would ever know. At home, Wei told Ma the whole story over a plate of cut fruit, leaving nothing out. Not even the part where the clever little voice had so very nearly won. Ma listened to every word, her eyes bright behind her glasses on their beaded chain. When he had finished, she did not gasp or clap or call him a hero. She simply reached over, patted his hand, and said softly, "Now you understand what I have always told you. Anyone can be good when the whole world is watching. Yet you, my dear, were good when not a single soul could see. That is integrity, and it is worth more than all the loose change in Singapore." Wei smiled. From Ma, that quiet sentence felt better than any prize. Later, before bed, Wei sat at his little desk and opened the notebook where Ms. Lim had asked the class to jot down their thoughts on who they wanted to become. For a while, he chewed the end of his pencil, thinking. Then he wrote a single, careful line. Be honest even when nobody is watching, especially then. He read it back twice, nodded to himself, and closed the book. The words felt true in a way that surprised him. He knew there would be other empty classrooms in his life, other quiet moments when doing wrong would be easy, and no one would ever know. Yet he also knew now the kind of boy he meant to be in those moments. And somehow, having decided it once made the next time feel a little less hard. weeks that followed, nobody ever made a speech about the 3 coins under the bookshelf. There was no certificate, no gold star, no name read out at assembly. To almost everyone, it remained the smallest of stories, the sort of thing that happens in a quiet classroom and is forgotten by tea time. Yet to Wei, it mattered more than he could quite explain. Whenever he was tempted to cut a corner, to fib about finishing his homework, to sneak an extra turn, to take what was not his, he would remember that empty afternoon and the small, clean pride he had carried home. Integrity, he had discovered, was not really about being caught or praised at all. It was simply, quietly, about who you choose to be when no one is watching.